Hello and welcome to another edition of The Journey. One of the common questions that we get from people is, what should I do with my money? And it's a pretty general question, but it's at different times of your life, different times in the world that question really arises. And it could be because of an election, could be because of a war, could be because of a stock market is up or down, could be the economic cycle is turning over. People ask that question when there's times of uncertainty. And my answer to that question typically is it depends on when you're going to need it. And if you have money that you might need in the next 1 to 2 years, I always tell people you should have that money in something safe, in something fairly liquid, so you can get access to it when you need it. Beyond that, our goal is to try to help you match your money to when you're going to need it. And obviously, based on when you're going to need it, that's the different degree of liquidity of investments, the different risk of investments, and the different types of investments that you might choose. So let me try to explain this in a simple way using kind of a buckets of money strategy. So if I'm retiring in the next 2 to 3 years, I should have some of my money in some more conservative investments, not all of it, but some of it in some more conservative investments, so that it's not fluctuating with any market or any asset class in general. That money should be in a bucket that we're going to have access to in the next 2 years. That's typically cash, savings, checking, maybe some short-term bonds, some things that you when you need it, it's going to be there, and it's not going to be worth less than it is today. Hopefully, a little bit more if interest rates are decent. So let's just say I need 50,000 a year to live on. I'm going to try to keep $100,000 in those safe and liquid assets. The next bucket of money is money that I probably won't need for, say, 3 to 7 years. Okay. Again, we have some money in a safe liquid investment that we won't need for a little while. We want to put some money out there that is 3 to 7 years from us needing it. Maybe not as liquid, but certainly safe. So our goal in that bucket is safe, maybe not as liquid, but we want to get a rate of return that competes with inflation. So if inflation is historically 3 to 4%, I want to invest in something that's going to at least keep pace with inflation so that my money is not worth less 3 to 5 years or 3 to 7 years from now than it is today as far as purchasing power goes. So if I'm looking at that same $50,000 of income need, I'm looking at 5 years from years 3 to 7. I'm probably going to want, $250,000 in that type of a bucket. Now that third bucket is kind of an open-ended bucket. Okay, that's a bucket that we really want to grow. And depending on how much we've saved, right, that bucket can be any number of different values. Even if I need 50,000 a year, if I've only saved $500,000, maybe I don't have enough as much money in that growth bucket, which would impact my long-term success of retirement. Or maybe I've saved really well and I have $1 million in that growth bucket. That's fine too. Maybe that allows you to do some more things down the road to pass on more to your for a legacy to your children, all those different things. But that growth bucket, typically we're looking to outpace inflation. Okay, so we're taking some more risk there. If inflation's 3 to 4%, we want to try to get 6, 7, 8% in that bucket. So we're going to take some more risk there. And that risk isn't necessarily just stock market risk, right? It could be liquidity risk. It's locked up for a while, maybe. It could be real estate markets, right? It could be gold and silver. I would consider gold and silver a long-term asset, and there's a lot of people asking about those particular commodities. Those two commodities are very volatile. They're not any less risky than the stock market. So you have to look at those as longer term investments too. And that would be money that we don't need for a while. So theoretically, if the markets go up and down, that gives us 7 years for that. If the markets do go down, 7 years for that asset to hopefully come back and maybe even be worth more than what it is today. So that's kind of a buckets of money strategy. Hopefully, I was able to explain that in a simple way. But we try to put simple concepts in place so people understand them and help them gain their retirement goals and hopefully live a long, successful retirement. And we can help them get there. We've helped many people do that. Follow us on YouTube. Hopefully, if you have any questions, call or text, and we'll talk to you soon.